and I'm going to try and add her right now. Those of you who have joined right now, we're going to be having a super interesting chat with
Hello. Finally.
Harshana. Hi, she's there.
I'm so technologically
It's
challenged.
okay, we all are.
Sorry.
We all are. I just started the live and I just mentioned the fact that you're the one who I run to whenever I'm having any skin issues and whenever I'm breaking out, whenever I come from a holiday and I need like a detan and
Yes.
always taken care of my skin. Um, but I'm super excited to actually talk to you about, like, we've not like had a detailed chat about like skincare and like ingredients and so that's going to be an interesting one. I've asked people, anyone who wants to ask anything, please shoot. But starting from the basics, I mean, we all know that we have like basics and we have actives.
Yeah.
And I think everyone who starts with their skincare journey goes mad because they start using everything all together.
Yeah. There's a lot of information available right now, and everyone is like, what do I do? What is this? And what is this? And what is that? And everyone's just going crazy, figuring out and trying to figure out what to use.
So usually do like people come to you with like, because they've like overdone it?
Of course. They've just like completely like peeled their skins off because they've tried an acid and they've tried a retinoid and they've tried a vitamin C and they've tried everything. But basically, what I tell them is you just break down your skincare into basics and actives. Okay, basic is what forms your structure, your moisturizer, your cleanser, and your sunscreen. This goes without saying. You need to use it all the time. Of course, your moisturizer will depend on. It's basic. It's like basic. When people are like, Doc, give me one thing, I'm like, you can't bargain with me. The sunscreen has to be there. If you want that one thing, then use the sunscreen and be happy in your life. But if you want me to give you exciting stuff, you cannot compromise on your sunscreen. Okay.
Yeah.
So your cleanser will depend on your skin type. Your moisturizer will depend on your skin type, of course. But sunscreen also depends on your skin type. You have gel based, you have oily, creamier ones. Exactly. So these are your basics, and then come your actives, which are your vitamin C, your retinoids, your AHAs, BHAs, niacinamide, all these words that are cooking in people's heads, and they're wondering, oh, I want to try this, or I want to try it.
Yeah.
And I'm like patients really confused out of their brains what to use.
So the point is to start slow, to start with the basics and slowly start introducing these actives.
Get your basics right first.
Yeah.
Get your basics in place first so that these are my things that will rescue me. These are like my buffering agents, things that will protect my skin. And then you start using all your active stuff on top. Yeah, exactly. Your ceramides, your peptides, your moisturizers, your hyaluronic, your urea, your so many different ingredients. So Sika, that all becomes like your basics.
Yeah. But today we're going to talk about, I don't know if it's one of your favorite ingredients, but definitely is one of my favorite ingredients.
It's mine.
Which is the family of retinoids.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of like confusion. There's a lot of even like, people are scared because they feel like it's so complicated, but actually it's not. So we can start with like you telling all of us like what exactly are retinoids and how do they help the skin?
Okay. So retinoids are definitely one of the actives. They're from the vitamin A family. I think everyone pretty much knows that they're from the vitamin A family. It's a big umbrella. So retinoid is this big umbrella, but underneath that, you have retinols, YL, you have OL, and AL. Yeah, so retinol, retinal, and then your retinoic acid, which is your tretinoid, which abroad they call it prescription grade. In India, everything is available over the counter.
In India, you don't need prescription for it.
In India, you can get it over the counter. So this is your big umbrella of retinoids. And then this gets converted to this, gets converted to this, gets converted to this, which is the highest version, which is your retinoic acid or tretinoin or tret. People call it tret. It's just a way of saying it.
So tret is the most potent form of retinoic acid.
Of course, there's one above that, tazarotene, but that's not something that we commonly hear of or use. But yes, tret is something which we do use in skincare and people are quite aware of it.
And I think what people are also I mean, we'll come to retinol and retinal later, but starting with like how does any retinoid help the skin? Like, what does it actually do?
So it does multiple things. In fact, it's surprising how one product can be so amazing and doing almost everything. Like it's literally the master of all. So basically what it does, it improves the exfoliation of your skin cell turnover. So in basic terms, what does it do? It makes me look younger. It helps me with my lines and wrinkles. It helps me unclog my pores. It makes my skin dewy and soft. And overall just,
Yeah,
helps with pigmentation, helps with
with texture,
melasma, so
yeah, all of it.
texture, like literally, because what it
Everything.
does, it works on your top layer, which is your epidermis, and it works on your second layer, which is your dermis. So it exfoliates the skin here, which makes my skin soft and supple, and it works on my collagen layer, plumping my collagen and, making me look younger and helping with my lines and wrinkles.
Yeah, and basically also fastens the cell turnover process, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
As we
exactly.
age, that process goes slower.
Exactly. Which is why people start looking dull. They have very
Yeah,
rough skin. When you feel their skin, it's like very grainy and very rough. That's because of the cell turnover.
yeah. So, how has your retinoid journey been?
And
Like
I've
when
been
did
using
you start,
retinoid
and
since
what
I
is?
was a teen. I had so much acne all over my face. I
So, what
couldn't
is the correct
sleep.
age? Actually, I'm also a little confused because so someone first told me it's like 25 and above. Then someone told me actually you can start using in your 20s also. It's also a little debatable
Yeah,
as a topic.
exactly. But take home messages, everyone's skin is different. Your skin is different from my skin, is different from his skin, is different from her skin. There's no
Yeah,
blanket rule to all of these things. But tretinoin that we're used for acne patients, no adapalene, tretinoin, we're using it in acne medication. So actually you can
yeah,
you were using it from teen years. And yes,
yeah.
the earlier you use it, the better it is. However, I had a very young girl who came to me, like not even a teen, and I was like, no, stop it. Like, let's
Not
not
even a
get
teen
so,
started with
yeah,
retinoids.
wants to know, was asking me because that's the awareness. I was like, just
Yeah,
wait. Let's keep it simple. Let's start with simple stuff first. But to answer your question, when you're doing it from an anti-aging point of view, there's something called microaging. I don't know if you know about microaging, but basically you start aging at 1%. The collagen production goes down by 1% every year from the age of approximately 25. So if my
okay.
collagen production is going down from the age of 25, that perhaps is a good ballpark to say, let me start using it if you haven't started using it already as an acne prescription when you were younger as a teen.
So if you have acne, you can probably start
Yeah,
earlier,
you
is
perhaps
what you're
already
saying.
would. Your doctor would have anyway already either put you on the oral isotretinoin or given you a topical gel that has something from the vitamin A family. So you would have
Yeah,
already
yeah,
started using that, and then you can just continue using it after that.
yeah. So basically, like anything 20 and above, usually,
Yeah.
but 25 and above, definitely, which is for like, almost like anti-aging.
Yeah.
I don't like the word anti-aging, but like grace aging, let's just
Let's
call
call
it
it
that.
skin enhancement.
Skin enhancement.
Skin enhancement, skin improvement.
Yeah. But I feel like aging like gracefully. That's it.
Yeah, of course.
You can't not
Of
age because the only time you're
course.
not aging is when you're
Correct.
dead. So,
Yeah, we don't want to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So my retinoid journey actually started, I think, I mean, properly, probably 3 to 4 years, 4 years back. But
Yeah.
I did attempt like tretinoin, maybe 5, 6 years back when I met this woman at a spa, and her skin was like glowing. Like it was like there was like this sheen and dewiness which was
Yeah.
so natural, and she had no makeup on, and I was like, oh my god, like your skin is beautiful. What do
Yeah.
you use? And that time she said tretinoin, and she
Mm.
was like, I use it like twice a week. You
Yeah.
start with like
Mm-hmm.
once a week, and I did start using tretinoin. मेरे साथ दो चीजें होती थी. एक तो मैं कभी कभी
Yeah.
भूल जाती थी because वो हफ्ते में एक बार यूज करना है, then you sometimes forget.
So see
Right? So
that's a very
consistency.
good point. Exactly. People are obsessed with higher and higher grades. I want to go higher. I want to go higher. They are obsessed with the intensity of the product. It should be
Yeah,
about consistency. If you're
consistency.
going to
Yeah.
forget, it's no point using some high grade, oh, because it's peeling, oh, because my skin gets, then use a lower grade, but use it more consistently.
Yeah, so I first started with tretinoin, and I used to use it like once a week. Then I tried twice a week, and also because I'm in the sun, I'm in
Yeah,
the lights. I used to sometimes feel like, it would start
of
peeling and
course,
it then doesn't look
of
good.
course.
And sometimes I would forget to put it. So there was no consistency, which is why I came down to retinol,
Right.
which I felt like I could use like alternate days
Yeah.
eventually. I could use like twice a
Yeah.
week. So it was a good routine that I had.
Yes.
And till I think 2 years back when I read about retinal, and I was extremely curious.
Yeah.
So, we have hyphened retinal, which is encapsulated retinal in our product, which is the retinal reset serum. But before we dive into that, a lot of people don't know what retinal is. I think it's a less popular product,
Yes.
ingredient.
Yes.
People know retinol.
Correct.
There are so many times when I've said retinal to someone and people have corrected, no, it's called retinol. And I was like,
No, it's called
I'm like, this
retinal.
is the elder sister. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
It's one step
So,
closer to your retinoic acid, which is the most potent form, is your
so
retinal.
what is the difference between like retinol and retinal? If you
So there's
if
retinol.
you have to explain it to like a layman, like someone who doesn't know much.
I would say if you want to reach the finishing line, if retinol is here, retinal is one step closer to the finishing line for your skin.
Okay, so
It's
retinal
more
works faster.
potent. Yes, it works faster, it's more potent, and it gives you quicker results. However, you have to be just careful that it needs to be married with ingredients that take care of your skin barrier. Because what you don't want is using using products which can cause dryness, can cause peeling, can cause dermatitis, can cause irritation, especially around the mouth. So these are all places which my AirPods.
That's okay. Yeah.
So we need to be careful. So you need to use it with basic products. Remember we spoke about that earlier, so that forms like a base or a buffer, and on top of that you can use your retinal or retinoid or whatever that you're using.
So retinal is more potent and more effective than
Yes,
retinol, and it's not as sensitizing as
yes,
tretinoin. Which is why I feel
yeah,
like it's like the
yeah,
best version for me, at
correct.
least I feel.
Yeah.
And
So again, like you said, best version for you because you've been delving with retinoids for a while. Your skin has got adapted to it. You understand your skin. It's also important to understand your skin and build
true.
slowly. Start slow is a take-home message. Monday, Friday, then Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then you can do a buffer system, which means you put a moisturizer first and your retinol on top. Or you can do a sandwich technique where you put your moisturizer, your retinol or retinoid, and another moisturizer on top. There's so many ways of doing it. Or, if people have very dry skin, I just read a comment. Somebody said, I have very dry skin, very sensitive skin. It doesn't mean that you can't use it. Just use it for a couple of hours. Start low, start with a, retinal ester, like the lowest grade. Do it with the sandwich technique and maybe start it for 4 or 5 hours and wash it off in the night, put your moisturizer and go to sleep. And then
Yeah, but I feel like
do this
if you're
twice a week.
using if like the sandwich method, sometimes when I've tried it, I've also suggested it to my friends who are like very very sensitive skin. That
Yeah.
I think kind of does the job.
Yeah.
I used to use it more with tretinoin, and
Yes.
now I think with our product, which is the Retinal Reset
Hmm.
Serum, we have it in two versions.
Hmm.
There is 0.05% encapsulated retinal.
Oh, encapsulated is good. It just basically preserves the potency of the
Yeah.
drug, of the medicine, of the product. That's good.
So it like
And
releases
it
over time, like at night.
releases it over time. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not
So
and the side effects like the irritation, the redness, all of that, it
yeah.
reduces because it's encapsulated.
Yeah. So, even I think in India, a lot of people have like sensitive
Hmm.
skin, dry skin, and we wanted to create something that is not going to be, that is going to be effective, potent, but at the same time also extremely hydrating and calming.
Yeah.
Um, so, 0.05% is for beginners and 0.1% is for people who've been using,
The
retinoids like
more
very often.
seasoned ones.
Yeah, the more seasoned ones. And we've also put like 10% of Sika extract in both these versions.
Mhm.
I feel like Sika is extremely
It is.
soothing. Like I personally feel like it calms any sort of irritation. Like I've had
Yeah.
situations where, sometimes you get a rash from like a particular
Hmm.
product and any product that has a high percentage of cica sort of like really helps to calm it down.
Yes.
Yeah, and we also have dipeptides. We also, in the pro version, we've also added like 7% of antioxidant blend, which kind of, helps the retinol in a way. Or if you're, because I feel like pro version is what people would use when they are really going for brace aging, and that is their main concern. And we do have squalene also, which is about 2%. And like you said, that it has to be combined with like things that will take care of your barrier and that will also hydrate and calm.
Yes.
We tried to make it a cream serum. So
Okay.
it's not a liquid serum. So it is in a slightly creamy yellow form.
That's nice because it's more hydrating then.
Yeah, so it's extremely hydrating. So I realized that the sandwich method, like I saved one step of the moisturizer before because it was a moisturizing serum.
Right.
And then I could like just top it up with the barrier care cream.
Correct. Yeah, that's good.
So that's been our product, and it's Touchwood, since its release, it's been doing pretty well. I'm going to send you a sample since you haven't used it yet. I would love to know what you feel. Yeah, and should we take some of the questions of people if they want to know anything that we haven't spoken about, maybe?
Sure. Yeah. Are there any questions?
You can try to see.
Okay,
a lot of people are asking.
The other thing is, I think we need to just put it out there that if you're planning or you're pregnant, you shouldn't be using any retinoid. So I think that's something that women have to really take care of. So
do you think men also use retinoids in general?
Of course.
Yeah, they should, right? I feel like men sometimes feel like they don't need skincare.
In fact, for them, it'll work so well because it just, men usually have thicker skin. They are out in the sun. They don't really take care of their skin. So retinoids work very well for men. I give it to almost all my male patients.
That's
usually
fabulous.
combine with other things because they
say, on this live,
just give me one thing, doc. Just give me one thing. So then I just give them one thing.
One thing is sunscreen. One
thing in the night. One thing in the night. Then I bargain with them. Then they say, okay, one thing in the night. And then I give them that one thing in the night, which would definitely be a retinoid.
Yeah, so even for me, I feel like, every other active is great. But for my night skincare routine, I feel like a retinoid, if you have to use like one thing, it is a retinoid. Because as you said, it has like multiple benefits,
Exactly.
And it does a lot of things in one product.
Exactly.
So someone, Punya Takakar, I hope I've said that correct, type of retinol for dry or oily skin. Does it depend on your skin type also, which type of retinoid to use?
If you have dry skin, it can get sensitive fairly quickly because your barrier is already compromised because you're not hydrated enough. And hence you should start low and then start building up. And then of course, like we spoke about, hydrating before, then applying your retinoid and then hydrating on top. With oily skin, maybe you won't need to do the before. You can, on dry skin, directly apply a retinoid followed by a moisturizer, which can be a gel-based moisturizer. It doesn't have to be very creamy and thick because then it'll clog again for somebody with oily skin. And you can just use your gel-based moisturizer on top.
True. And I never use it in the day, but is it a thing, like, can you use retinoids in the day, or it's a big no?
So if I'm not exposed to the sun, let's say I am flying for an airline or I do night shifts and I come back and I put it and I'm sleeping, that's fine. As long as it's not exposed to the sun, because it can degrade in the sun, number one. And number two, the sun can make you more sensitive. So remember that. Even when I go on a holiday, I will stop using my actives, including my retinoids, at least 4 or 5 days before I go on a beach holiday. Because what I don't want is my dewy, very baby soft skin getting then very tanned and very sensitive in the sun. So, it's very important to hydrate and to understand your life and what's going on in your life to use products accordingly.
But like it's suggested more at night. Right?
Just use it at night. It's easy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And your
little white bumps
in the day.
Someone saying little white bumps on my forehead. Any solution for that?
I mean, any white bumps on the forehead, check your scalp, check if you have any dandruff. That's the most common cause. Or you're sweating a lot and you're not washing your face post-workout, because again, you can clog over here. So check your scalp, and then you can use a retinoid over here. You can use salicylic acid if you're cloggy, and that'll help.
And retinol, eventually, can it be used daily? Like, can you reach a
Of
point
course.
where you use it
Yeah,
daily?
absolutely. You can use it every day. You can build your skin to using it every day.
So, I actually had been using our beginner version for like about 2 months. And then I thought, okay, let me switch to the pro version. But like I said, what happened with me is the same thing. The pro version, I have to again space it out and not use it every alternate day. And, I use it like maybe twice or thrice a week. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I prefer actually using the lesser one, but more frequently.
So we spoke about
Because
that,
then
right?
I don't have to worry about what's happening with my
Exactly.
skin, and I can probably also use it every day.
Exactly. Also now, I am realizing that, with so many people now using so many actives every single day, I am realizing that people are just overdoing it on their face. Like it's literally just like so irritated and peeling and dehydrated. So in fact, some of them are coming looking older with more wrinkles because they've used a retinoid cream, and got eczema on their neck because they've used like a retinoid or an acid on every, even the sensitive parts of their body, including around their mouth. So I also feel like it also is age dependent. The older you get, your skin does not produce so many natural oils, and hence you can take breaks in between. We call it skin fasting, where you just stick to basics. Like let's say Tuesday and Thursday, I just want to do basics. I want to lather my skin with an oil, or I want to do a beautiful hydrating serum and moisturizer. And the other days I do my actives, which would be my retinoids, or could be my acids or salicylic or whatever it is that you're using. So skin fasting is also great depending on your skin type. So remember, everyone is different. Everyone's requirements are different.
So even I sort of try and follow like a skin cycle, where like exfoliate, use a retinoid, hydrate, and then like the same thing again.
Yeah.
But there are times, and I always even tell like people, whoever asks me, like, like you said, you need to listen to your skin and how your skin is feeling.
Yeah.
And there are times when I feel like, my skin's feeling like it's acting up, or it's breaking out, or it's, got like clogged pores. And I just stop everything and I stick to like a basic moisturizer and sunscreen.
Exactly.
And like just a barrier care cream and a sunscreen. And I mean, I do it till I feel like my skin's back to normal.
Because you understand your skin. You understand what it does, what it needs, and that's important. Really important. What about,
and
should we talk about amounts? Like how much should people use? Yeah,
of course.
People are using the smart. Some people are using like this. Like when I prescribe them with like some product, and when they come back a year later, and I'm still using that product. Yeah, because doctor, I use only so little. Like no, that's how much. At least a peanut-sized amount is what you should use. So use the correct amount.
So I feel like tretinoin. I mean, a pea size is what they suggest. Like everywhere online, what I've seen is like a pea size amount for tretinoin. But is that also the same for retinol? And like, because different serums are different. Like our beginner version is slightly more liquid than the pro version, and I sometimes feel like if I take too less, it doesn't cover my entire face and neck.
Yeah, so you should cover your face and neck, and do the dot technique where you're sort of dotting it and then you're sort of applying it all over so that it covers everything. But
So
your
it's
neck,
like
remember, you should moisturize. Okay, I've seen people with a lot of allergies on the neck when they've used active products on the neck without protecting their skin before using it.
So do you suggest like first moisturizing the neck and then using the serum? Or
I think initially yes. No, I think initially yes, because all of us have very delicate skins and sensitive skin on the neck. So yes, you should moisturize first and then use it. And then it depends. And later on, skip one day and moisturize on top and see what happens.
And what about like under eyes, that area?
So under eyes, good question. I think retinoids for under eyes are amazing. They really work, and I give it to a lot of my patients. I use it myself. The only thing that I do is I use a very hydrating eye cream as well.
Before or after?
I use it before because my under eye skin can get quite sensitive sometimes. So I use a very gentle hydrating eye cream, massage it around, then I use my retinoid on top. And sometimes I may put the same moisturizer on top, or I may just leave it like that.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes like when I put my retinoid, like I kind of avoid this area because I feel like the first thing that starts peeling, if at all you
Yeah.
go a little more,
So why don't
is
you
this.
hydrate it first, then apply it, and do it
Yeah.
just twice a week. Don't do it every single day. You do it on the rest of the face. And another thing that people can do is just put Vaseline. You can put Vaseline to protect your
Yeah.
eyes, and then you
Yeah.
can do your
And then
retinoid for the
apply the
rest
whole
of the
thing.
face. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Vaseline's amazing.
Yeah. Or any sort of
Um,
occlusive.
Ma'am, I'm having breakouts. Should I apply retinoid?
Good question. Because here we can talk about purging. That's something that does people are really worried, especially the ones with acne, that they're going to start purging once they start using retinoids. So, what is purging? Purging just means that whatever that you were going to get over the next couple of weeks, like my little acne, they all start coming out pretty quickly because of the skin cell turnover that you started using your retinoid. So, they come out quickly
Yeah.
and then it starts calming down. So yes, you must use a retinoid, but remember, even if your skin purges, which means suddenly acne becomes more and then it will calm down, continue. But the purging process
Yeah.
may
A lot
take
of people
three to
get
four
scared when it
weeks.
starts breaking them
Correct.
out.
Because obviously, you want to look better and then suddenly you're like, what is this? And I've just got much more. But you need to continue. Continue,
Even if
stay
you have
consistent.
active acne, can you put it? Is
Of
that all?
course. Yeah.
Because it dries it up, no? A little
Of
bit.
course, it dries it up, and you get a lot of combinations with clindamycin or nadoxin and other antibiotic gels which you can use it with.
Yeah. Okay. Any other products? And it's also safe for sensitive skin, right? Like just the way of
Yeah,
using it has to change. You have to like really
just the way
buff it.
of using it. Exactly, exactly. You can use it for sensitive skin. You can even use it for rosacea skin. But again, start low, build slowly, and then build it up.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't started the retinoid journey, you can start with our beginner version, which has got like 0.05% encapsulated retinol, and it's extremely hydrating. I personally love that version a lot because I just feel like sometimes, and maybe Dr. Harshana is not going to agree with this, but sometimes when I don't have time, I don't put like a moisturizer over it because it is super hydrating.
So that's fine
So there are times
because it
when
has
I'm like,
other
I don't have the
hydrators
time.
in it. That's fine. See,
Yeah.
your
And because,
product clearly is very different from another product that has only the retinol. And there are many
yeah,
products in the market, like Ordinary, that sell pure retinol, like
yeah,
1% or 2%.
yeah,
Then you need
yeah.
to combine it with other stuff. But if yours already is in combination with other stuff, then that's great.
Yeah, the idea is to try and simplify skincare and also put as many really good actives and ingredients that can go
Yeah.
together. So even like whether it is like dipeptides, whether it is bakuchiol,
Ah,
you know,
it has
in a
bakuchiol
beginner
in
version.
it.
Yeah, so the beginner version also has bakuchiol and it has dipeptide and it's got like 10% cica extract.
Okay,
Um,
wow. So that's another
so
thing.
that one,
For those with sensitive skin, they can start with only bakuchiol as a retinoid,
yeah,
and then can start building up to then use it as a combination, like in your product, which has both.
yeah. And those of you who have already started your journey and you want to like escalate to a pro version, the retinal reset serum with 0.1% is the pro version. Now that also has plant stem cells. Uh, can you tell us a little bit about like what plant stem cells would be and what they do?
Okay, so stem cells is another buzzword. Love it. It's doing amazing stuff, and we're doing amazing, work with stem cells. But basically, what is stem cell? It's a cell. There's certain growth factors that are extracted from these stem cells, which tell your body to behave younger. So if I put on my skin, it'll tell my skin to start behaving younger. When I put it in my hair for hair regrowth, it will tell my hair to behave younger. So basically regenerates. It goes and finds the cells that it realizes is needs help. And it goes there and it gives it its support and helps it build like a fresh young cell. So that's
Yeah.
what stem cells do. They're very good in
Can
regeneration.
can retinoids be used with like can retinol be used with say vitamin C or anything
Yeah,
else? Like
it's a good
sometimes I've seen
question.
products that have
Yeah,
had vitamin C and retinol.
that's right.
So,
So look,
but
there's no,
as long as you're using at night.
yeah, use it at night. And
Yeah.
as long as you build into it, I wouldn't jump in and use a product that has these two ingredients. I would use that separately. I would use vitamin C separately initially to make sure both these ingredients suit me. I'm not allergic to it. I don't break out with it. I don't have issues with
Yeah,
it. And then, of course, you can combine it together. It's fine.
yeah, because that again is a little bit of a confusing
No,
path where some people they
you
don't use it
can.
together.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out of a limb here right now to say that you can even combine acids with retinoids. And a lot of people say you cannot, it's highly exfoliating. I mean, I've used it on my skin. It just depends which acid you're using, which retinoid you're using. Of course, you use the lowest one, but
And
yes, you can. But
percentages.
of course, it's a formulation, it's the percentages, it's whether your skin is used to it or not, it's whether you are using other stuff with it. So it's a whole big thing that you can do. But yes, if you're
But
not
when
used it, we will not do it together.
But when so like you said, people who have been using it can probably combine
Yeah,
stuff, not when you're
not
starting
when you're
out.
starting.
So in our pro version, that's the reason why we hyphened like antioxidant blend, which is like about 7%. So it's also giving you benefits of
That's great. That's
antioxidants.
brightening for
Right.
your skin.
Yeah, so while it does give you retinol, and this version is mainly for people who have been using retinoids like regularly, and their skin is used to it.
Yeah.
They have realized what works for them, what hasn't.
Yes.
So and we also have like 2% of squalane, because if you have so much that's going on, you do need that extra moisturization, that extra
Yeah.
and
they can use
squalane
and they can use an oil or a very thick cream on top of your product if they
on
feel
top of it to
dry.
seal it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let's say they're using it and they feel this is just not enough, then lock it up with a nice oil or lock it up with a nice
Moisturizer.
heavy moisturizer.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Vaseline, anything. You can just lock it up with that. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, all my questions have been answered. I don't know if you guys, if your any other questions are pending.
Have a look. And I'm also going to see if there's anything. We spoke about buffering. We spoke about sandwiching. Oh yeah, we can also do patch tests. I mean, that's something that people can do. They can
Is that
do a little bit.
usually?
No, but if people are scared, let's say if I'm very sensitive on my skin, and historically I've always had a like a reaction where I become red like a baboon and I start peeling, and I'm so scared to use a product, use it on your jawline, use it here on your upper neck, do it for a couple of nights in a row before you start putting it on your face. Another tip that I can give you is when you're using a new product and you're scared about it, use it between 7 o'clock in the night to 10 o'clock in the night, where you can keep seeing, am I turning red, am I turning irritated, and then you can go wash it off, rather than sleeping on it in the night and then getting up looking like one red baboon and then freaking out. So then you can also just wash it off.
Yeah, I mean, if you're reacting to it, you would know within an hour, and then you can just wash it
or a
off.
couple of hours, and then you can wash it off. No, but sometimes you need to do it for 2-3 days because it's cumulative. Today it may not irritate, but tomorrow it may irritate. So use it for a couple of days.
Okay. This is amazing. I think we should do this a little more often.
Yeah. I'm going to get better lighting next time. My lighting sucks compared to yours.
I'm in the vanity van, so I have great face light happening here. Yeah, and I also have like makeup on because I'm on shoot actually. Yeah. But this was a lot of fun, and I have to get back to shoot. But I'm definitely
all the best.
Thank you. I am sending my products, and I want like genuine feedback of how you like them.
Of course.
And we should do this often next time, and maybe tell people to like pick up a topic and we can probably chat about that.
Good. Go back to your
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. All the best. Bye.
Bye.